This video is a tribute to Technoblade, who sadly recently passed away from cancer. It's also a fundraiser, so if you're able to, please donate to the Sarcoma Foundation for Cancer Research, a foundation Technoblade himself trusted and collected hundreds of thousands of dollars for after finding out that he was suffering from cancer. In this hardcore world, I've done dozens of crazy things, and one of the most impressive and annoying things to do, in my opinion, is building the 192 villager trading hall. But it's still got a problem. It's extremely ugly. So in this episode I will build a gigantic church enclosing this thing in tribute to Technoblade that is built out of over 20,000 blocks. So let's add that to our list. But you may have noticed that I didn't write this in the first spot, because before I really want to have a bone meal farm. I can't tell you why yet, but it's important. By the way, I've also already started always eating golden apples, because then I've got 12 hearts. But now I need to get all of the materials to build a bone meal farm. So got all the materials together that I need. It's a little bit more than 2 shulker boxes, and I'm not gonna build this farm in some random place, but I'm gonna build it in the spawn chunks, because this produces 6,500 bone meal and I don't wanna AFK for hours on end on that all the time. So as I said, spawn chunks. And if you ever need a shortcut, the quickest way to get there is to break your bed and go into the end and enter the overworld again, because you are gonna go to your spawn point. So entering the end, getting into the portal and going right back. Exactly, you have no home, bed or charge to your spawn anchor, or it was obstructed. And now I think right here I can load in my schematic and build this farm. So now I've built all of this. It took me, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours. It wasn't too hard. I filled everything up with some bone meal, and there should be enough chests for like 20 hours of this thing working. After that everything's just gonna get burned. Now let's turn it on. Hopefully it works. And looks good. Now I just have to hope that the self-filling system works. But like now everything should have been gotten composted. It doesn't seem to continue working for some reason. And then I did indeed find the problem. Okay, now it's actually working. I fixed everything, and the thing is, you see the left side isn't working properly right now, but that is because all of this bone meal just first has to be filled up. So here there's already a lot of bone meal. Here there's also quite a lot, because not everything can be sorted in there. But in the other two there wasn't sorted anything, because first of all these have to be full so that bone meal goes by them. Then these have to be filled, and when these are all full, then I'm gonna get bone meal here. So now let's continue with getting the resources for our gigantic 20,000 blocks project, and when we've got those we can come back and check out if this farm was working in our spawn chunks. So now I'm on in-game day 1250 and I've collected nearly all of the resources I need. The bone meal farm I've built before has been running for around 7 hours. I think I'm gonna visit it to check out if it worked properly. I really hope it did. Now I should have quite a lot. So let's go back to spawn. And here it is. And at least it seems like it's working currently. So let's see. Yeah, it hadn't worked. But then I luckily found a way to make it work. I've now finally fixed this farm, and if you wanna know why it didn't work, you know, I'm in the spawn chunks, and I thought spawn chunks are those who are always loaded. But in fact, if you go in the nether, spawn chunks aren't loaded. And so I fixed this with a little chunk loader, and first I thought I'd have to build 4 of these, which would be a big problem, because if I like build a portal here for example, and then on the next chunk on the other side, even here, I think they would connect to the same thing in the nether, and so that wouldn't be possible. But actually, since it's spawn chunks, I think this just makes the overworld be loaded, and then all the spawn chunks are loaded in. Or a chunk loader just loads in several chunks around itself, I'm not sure. Anyway, it's now working, it's giving me lots of bone meal. Although in the meantime, while waiting for this to work, I don't actually need this anymore because I already got all of my brown dye and stuff. So let's go here, fly home. Then at home, let's go away from the nether portal. And here, we've got all of our resources. So, a lot of brick stuff, several kind of different pieces of wool, acacia, dark oak, yeah, all of this. And then, yeah, a bunch of detailed stuff. I just need 5 more waxed exposed copper. I can't even talk anymore. So let's see. They're still spaced out here. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for those to like oxidize to the first state and then wax them and take them with me. And then I can start building. So now at the villager breeder, the church is gonna be here. I just forgot one thing. Some villagers kind of disappeared, I don't know how, they must have died, but it's just like 5 villagers and 2 or 3 that I have to heal from being zombie villagers. So these villager breeders should be working right now. I turned them on again, and then I'm gonna ship my first villager. Yes. Now go along, fell in right away. Can break his minecart and break the block underneath him, and he should be trapped in there. And I'm gonna do that for the rest and also get some other preparations, and you are gonna see a time lapse of this beautiful gigantic building. So now I finally built it. I'm at day 1318. I've got no idea when I started anymore. And there it is. Oh, it loaded out because my render distance is quite short now, so that I can see this with shaders without it lagging out completely. So you can see the Technoblade crown, the giant roof, the front, this side, and I know this is a little bit in the way, but when I've got a beacon here, then I'm gonna remove it. There are these windows on the roof. And the back side you probably already saw in the thumbnail. This one is the same than the other side. And then in the front I can go in, and you have not seen anything of the interior. Wait, let's see the golden apple. So let's open this and show you. Yeah, I think it looks quite good. Here we've got some ornaments because this is a Technoblade ornament building church thing after all. And like this is meant to resemble Bad Wars, which was one of his best things. Like I'm gonna build different things for Technoblade in this world from time to time, and they're all gonna resemble certain things he did. This is of course for the Bad Wars win streak, and then there are gonna be things for the Potato War and stuff like that. You've already seen the texturing of this thing. Then these things show us where which people are. So we've got all of our traders in here, 192 villagers, and these little emerald things out of the materials that they are already encased in. Then some of the things you could need, like 6 of these contraptions are around this build, emeralds and a stone cutter and an ender chest and a crafting table and some barrels and anvils. All of the villagers of course, but you already know these. A little bit of storage here. And I've also named all of these villagers so that Usually I would, for example, buy a lot of glass and then run out of inventory space and have to go back, and I didn't know where I stopped. And now when I stop to empty my inventory, I don't have to like guess where I was, but I can just remember the number these were named after and then go back to the right one. So here you can see this is the most busy thing, and we've also got a Technoblade statue here, and on the other side too, of course. And it's like a carpet to bow on or something, I don't know. So now we're done with this, and we can check out one more thing, which is my bone meal farm later that day. By the way, there's one thing I forgot to tell you there, and that is this clock bell. You see, sometimes it rings, and that's because there's a chicken in here that randomly activates this by running above there. And if it lays an egg on here, then this is gonna run for 5 minutes straight. And while building this thing, I was certainly tortured with that sound a few times. It's a really stupid thing, but I love it. But now, back to the bone meal farm. It kinda broke again, but and I'm gonna fix that. But let's first of all turn it off right now, and then see how much I got. So, oh, a lot. Okay, like 10 double chests. Now I've crafted it all up to know exactly how much I got, and it's over a double chest of bone blocks. And even though this farm is now broken, I think I'm not gonna have to worry about bone meal for a long time. But now that this is done, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to donate to the charity, and I'm out. Technoblade never dies.